Hi, I'm Curt Churchman from Fine Estate Art and Rugs. You can visit us online at www.fineestateart and www.fineestaterugs.com, respectively. And today's little lesson is how to pack, or how I pack, an oil painting for shipment. We're often asked when we purchase paintings from individuals how best for them to pack it, and so we thought we'd make this little instructional video and post this online, and it would be a good reference source. And this is how we do it. There are other ways to do it, but I think it'll give you some at least concepts to work with. So by way of materials list, we've got tape, which we use sparingly. Tape can, destroy a painting. Tape finishes off nice old frames, but we'll use it at the end when we get the box strapped together. This is vinyl wrap. It's like saran wrap on a stick. You can get this at U-Haul. It's pretty cheap at U-Haul. You can also get it at office supply stores like Staples and what have you. And in lieu of tape, this works great because it's not tape, and so it won't typically take finishes off frames. It really won't harm the painting. It's sort of inert in wrapping stuff together, and it snugs everything up so beautifully. And I'll show you a technique for how that works. You need a nice box knife and a measuring tape at times. This is foam core. This is like a rigid board. You can get these at Walmart. They're about $5 each. This is a 32 by 40 sheet. 2 pieces of foam core would be helpful. Here's our beautiful painting that we're sending out today. We get so many paintings in that we tend to recycle stuff, but this is a nice big shipping box. This will be the box the painting ships in. You can get these at U-Haul. I think they call them mirror boxes, and they're relatively economical. And so one nice box like that. Sometimes you can double box, but the foam core really obviates the need for a second box. And then these are shipping peanuts, again recycled on our part, but these are items that you can get at Walmart as well. So to begin with, what we do is we put the painting on the foam core and kind of make a mark. So we're cutting the board, the foam core, just a little bit larger than the outer dimensions of the frame of the painting. So I just do a kind of a rough mark and really an ad hoc cut to get this size right. And you can do that with your utility knife, obviously. Don't slash your hand off, but be careful. It's pretty simple. So as this is take 2, we already have the other board cut. Then when both boards are cut, you just make a painting sandwich. So you put one board down, and I've got this nice big console to work on. If you have a kitchen table or something where you can leverage your edges and get a little overhang, that's kind of nice. And then here's the other board on top, and then we're going to take this vinyl wrap. I'm going to show you how this works because I guess it's not totally intuitive, but you can make one continuous loop with this stuff because it's self-adhering. So you get it started, and you have to adhere it to itself. Once it grabs itself, now that it's been around one whole lap, you're good to go, and you can just move with impunity with it. So to do your corners, the same sort of deal. You can just turn on itself. So I can get 2 sides of this done, and then I just flip the big mass 180 degrees essentially, and then I'm going to turn the corner again. So I just turn it on itself. It's a little bit ad hoc or improvised, but it works great. And then same deal here. So now we've got the painting well encased, and it's protected with rigid board on both sides, and yet no tape or anything in the mix. And so the next step is really to get it in the box. So what I do usually, other options in terms of, peanuts aren't my favorite, but I've got so many I use them all the time, and they're available and cheap. But if you can't get peanuts, you can always use bubble wrap. It's easier for the end user because there's not all these stupid peanuts floating around. But we're using peanuts. So what I'm going to do, I think I maybe put too many in, but get some peanuts to start the bottom of the box. We're going to dump some of these out. Don't make the same mistake I'm making, folks. So you get some peanuts, you line the bottom of your box, and then you want to lay your painting in there, of course. So now the painting's compressed into the peanuts, then more peanuts are going to go in the box. And in as much as I'd like to use these peanuts up for the sake of our video, I'm going to go to my next bag of peanuts. And I really don't need a ton. I'm going to kind of move the painting around so the peanuts fill both sides of it. This is the part where you might want to go make popcorn. And the painting takes up a fair amount of the space inside the box. And of course, we already have some peanuts on the bottom, etc., etc. So carefully, sort of making sure that all the cavities get filled. One little trick is you can sort of bow the sides out like I was just doing, you know, just like this a bit, and that will overstuff the box. And for purposes of shipping, I mean, you don't want to just jam super tight, but you do want it snug. Any movement is where you're going to have problems, where it can kind of get banged up. We don't want any banging up, obviously. So we're going to keep on filling by hand here, just to get all the way to the top. And then, that's when the tape comes in. We don't use the tape until the end, and it's just to seal the box shut. And I imagine you can figure that out on your own, but I usually will tape going both ways. Now, I've got old UPS labels on this box, which if you're using a label box, you either want to blank them out or take a Sharpie and mark over them. And then don't forget, when you're doing a box, you always want to make sure your return address is on it. Even if I send you a label that would have your return address on the label, you want to make sure it's on there separately, because if this box would get lost and the label would come off, or that's how the box would get lost. If the label came off the box, they've got nothing to go by, and they likely would not be opening up the box to figure out what's going on. So you want to make sure that your name is either on a label, independently of the UPS label, or handwritten on the box. So that's it. You've got a box that's ready to ship. Please call us with your old Indiana oil paintings.